Kayla Timpson, who is doing her thing. Speak about the GOAT, Caitlin Clark. We all know Caitlin Clark is set to have an MVP season in year 3 after returning from injury. Michaela Timpson had a quote about Caitlin Clark that is very, very interesting that we have to get into. And
officially, Caitlin Clark is the most powerful person in women's basketball, and the league's veterans are frightened to death that a serious conflict of interest is developing as certain co-founders attempt to act dishonestly with their new company partner. In real time, the strategy to overshadow the WNBA is failing. This power battle has just reached an unanticipated breaking point. Do you believe Unrivaled is genuinely attempting to assist the players, or are they merely attempting to undermine the WNBA while Caitlin Clark has all the power? Tell me in the comments.
Caitlin Clark's a great teammate. Pretty much everybody. This ain't a Chicago Sky situation where Courtney Vandersloot got to go on camera and defend herself because somebody said something they weren't supposed to and all this other stuff.
Here, Michaela Timpson, a rising talent, is stating the truth about Caitlin Clark, the greatest of all time. It's amusing how the story shifts when people are forced to play with her instead of merely detesting her from the sidelines. Timpson essentially validated what was already known by everyone with sight. The best teammate is Caitlin. She's witty. She is grounded. She is also dealing with a level of scrutiny that would cause these unparalleled founders to collapse like a lawn chair.
I love her. The thing she's able to control and that she doesn't show. I couldn't imagine going through the stuff she goes through, but she stays strong. Now, that's just kind of referring to the spotlight. Everything you do is being talked about, is under a microscope. Every missed shot, every made shot.
Why is this important now? Because the veterans are occupied with playing politics, while the rookies and real stars are concentrated on the game. The 2026 WNBA season, or the possible absence of it, is the big elephant in the room. Behind the scenes, there is a fascinating discussion about what would happen in the event of a strike or the failure to reach an agreement. Some are speculating that Unrivaled, under the leadership of Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, would just emerge with a 5-on-5 league to fill the gap.
You had asked earlier if there is no 2026 WNBA season. Does Unrivaled decide, like, we're going to do a pop-up league somewhere? Do they extend their season? Do they start building out a second season? Like, there are always a million different ideas that it does seem like the everyday fan is thinking about too, you know?
And to say for the record, and this is how I feel, I don't think that Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier are actively trying to sabotage the WNBA.
Please give me a rest. Do you really believe that the world's top women's basketball league will be replaced by a startup league? It's a joke. However, the joke has an extremely bitter punchline. The fans are finally beginning to see the desperation after we've been calling this a conflict of interest for months. It is impossible to serve on the WNBA board and co-found a rival league at the same time without raising suspicions about your intentions. It's similar to sitting on the Coca-Cola board as the CEO of Pepsi and wondering why everyone gives you a sidelong glance when the stock falls.
Had about if there's no 2026 WNBA season, Unrivaled's thought process and plans for this. And this is why they can't get mad that we've been saying this whole thing with them running Unrivaled, being co-founders, but also being on the WNBA board is a conflict of interest. Is conversations and things like this on why they can't get mad that we're saying it's a conflict of interest.
They insist they are not operating like double agents attempting to undermine the WNBA. But let's examine what is actually happening. They are demanding a collective bargaining agreement that delivers virtually everything it wants. This is not truly about protecting the long-term future of the league. It is about veteran players recognizing that their careers are nearing the finish line and wanting to maximize their earnings before the Caitlin Clark era fully takes over. They are seeking immediate financial security because they understand they may not be around to benefit from the sustained growth they publicly advocate for. Then there is the scheduling issue. When the WNBA unveiled its 2026 schedule, several players reacted on social media with apparent confusion and surprise. Why would venues be reserved if a new agreement has not yet been finalized? That question almost answers itself. Perhaps it is because the league is ready to continue forward without them. The WNBA delivered a very direct message. Arenas are secured, tickets will sell, and the season will move ahead. If certain veterans decide to step away and participate in their own small, niche 3-on-3 venture, so be it. The league still has Caitlin Clark. It has Angel Reese. It has Paige Buchers and Juju Watkins rising through the ranks. Right now, the most talked about stars in the sport are still on rookie deals. If veteran players choose to strike, the WNBA could pivot, elevate replacement talent, and allow the young core to take center stage. Realistically, would television numbers even suffer? Fans are tuning in to watch Clark, not to witness what feels like a corporate standoff disguised as a basketball season. Now, circling back to Mikayla Timpson for a moment, especially with Natasha Howard potentially sidelined after appearing more focused on chasing an unlikely MVP campaign than fully embracing team play, Timpson could see a significant increase in court time. She is an exceptional athlete, capable of sprinting the floor with ease, and perhaps most importantly, she genuinely enjoys sharing the court with Caitlin. That represents the direction of the Indiana Fever and, more broadly, the trajectory of the league itself. The veteran players appear to be trying to control access to a game that has already evolved beyond them. Their concerns about prioritization rules stem from a desire to compete overseas and participate in multiple leagues simultaneously. In essence, they want every possible benefit at once. Meanwhile, fans simply want to enjoy high-level basketball without the uncertainty of a looming lockout overshadowing the season. The situation feels increasingly obvious. Unrivaled functions as a fallback option for a select group at the top, while much of the league becomes leverage in negotiations that do not seem to be breaking in the veterans' favor. They may attempt to influence public perception, but once the WNBA released its schedule, the message was unmistakable. The league understands where its financial momentum lies, and it is not in a temporary startup venture. It is in the generational stars currently playing under rookie contracts. The reality may set in quickly when some players recognize they are not as irreplaceable as they believed. A league cannot be pressured effectively when the majority of fans are tuning in to watch the very player others are attempting to sideline. It is certainly a daring approach. Let's see how that works out for them. Though the outlook does not appear promising, consider the reasoning behind it. Unrivaled promotes $200,000 salaries tied to equity while suggesting the WNBA is still searching for the right financial structure. Yet if Unrivaled is truly built for long-term stability, why did its viewership decline so sharply once the early excitement faded? The answer seems straightforward. They do not have the one player the broader audience is eager to see. Caitlin Clark declined their offer, not once, but twice. She understands her priorities. She recognizes that the WNBA remains the sport's premier platform. Meanwhile, Unrivaled's founders present their venture as if it is a revolutionary breakthrough. It becomes even more striking when you recall Nafisa Collier criticizing WNBA leadership as the worst in the world. That is a bold statement, especially considering this is the same leadership group that secured an 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights agreement. This is the same leadership that has expansion ownership groups willing to pay $250 million simply for the opportunity to join the league. That alone suggests the issue may not rest with the executives. Perhaps the deeper problem lies with a segment of players who believe they are larger than the brand itself. And regarding the equity debate, Unrivaled offers ownership stakes because it needs a compelling incentive to draw attention and investment. The WNBA, on the other hand, does not require equity giveaways to validate its standing. It already occupies the top position in women's professional basketball, requesting a 50-50 revenue split while the league is still navigating its first significant surge in growth resembles asking for a promotion on your first day simply because the company's stock price ticked upward. The veterans are effectively wagering the sport's current momentum. After witnessing the historic ratings generated during Caitlin's rookie season, some appeared to assume that surge translated directly into their own financial leverage. But the audience did not tune in to hear complaints about travel logistics. They came to watch a 30-foot logo 3. If the 2026 season fails to materialize, it is the veterans who stand to lose the most. They would be putting their sponsorship deals, their visibility, and ultimately their relevance at risk. Caitlin Clark, however, will remain Caitlin Clark. She could step away for a year, relax on a beach, film a handful of State Farm commercials, and return even more financially secure and marketable than before. A mid-tier veteran advocating for a strike may not have that same cushion or long-term leverage. The concept of launching a separate 5-on-5 pop-up league feels like a contingency plan for those who sense their roles diminishing. It creates an environment where they can shape the narrative and position themselves as focal points without directly competing against the rookies who are currently driving attendance and television numbers. It resembles a personal showcase framed as a broader labor cause. In contrast, Michaela Timpson's remarks stand out because they are free of the resentment and gatekeeping tone that critics often attribute to leadership within the WNBPA. She is focused purely on the game. She recognizes the preparation Caitlin commits to. She understands her presence and personality, and she wants to grow alongside her. That is what a true teammate does. That is also how a league builds lasting success. Instead, some individuals appear to be constructing emergency exits from a structure they are simultaneously threatening to destabilize. When the WNBA released the schedule, it sent a decisive message. The arenas are secured, tickets are available, and if certain players choose not to participate, others will step in. Most importantly, the audience will still come, for Caitlin, for Paige, and for the league's emerging generation. Meanwhile, Unrivaled is confronting significant obstacles, including a noticeable decline in ratings during its second year. That is the unavoidable truth about a league constructed around resentment and exclusion. A long-term business model cannot survive on an anyone but Caitlin mindset. The marketplace has already delivered its verdict. The frustration setting in stems from a realization that the perceived leverage was never as strong as believed. In attempting to stall the WNBA's momentum to pressure a new agreement, they overlooked a fundamental shift in influence. Caitlin Clark has become the central force steering attention and growth. The rookies represent the engine powering this new phase. The veterans, at this point, resemble passengers attempting to seize control of the wheel and redirect the journey. Yet the WNBA is a large, established enterprise. It does not abruptly change course because a handful of voices raise objections. The overlapping interests at play are so evident that they are difficult to ignore. You have Nafisa Collier and Breanna Stewart helping to operate a separate league that could theoretically gain traction if the WNBA were to stumble. That dynamic naturally raises questions about overlapping interests. In a comparable NBA scenario, many believe Adam Silver would address the situation swiftly. Yet in the WNBA's case, the response has appeared more cautious, as if decision-makers are hesitant to escalate tensions. Meanwhile, fan frustration continues to grow. Supporters want to watch the Indiana Fever face the Chicago Sky. They want emerging rivalries and meaningful regular season matchups, not a 3-on-3 showcase in Miami that can feel closer to an extended exhibition than a premier competition. If negotiations falter and payments dry up, reality could set in quickly, especially if the WNBA proceeds with a younger, more cost-effective, and highly marketable core. From a strategic standpoint, the league could simply hold its position, keep the schedule intact, allow merchandise sales to continue, and let time reveal whether the alternative truly matches the polished image presented on social media.